Well, hello everyone. Good morning. It's me, Matthew, and it's lovely to see you all. We're doing another little live stream here of my newspaper archive hunting. I'm going to be diving through the search engines and poking around in old artifacts and digging up priceless things, just things. Hi. I'm so happy to have you here. Who do we have? We've got such a crowd in the chat. Achille Papine was here so early. I hope I did not keep you waiting too long, but you were here for like 15 minutes before I got started. Sim is here. Hello. Good to see you. And Fleesills, my goodness, you've applied to be on Survivor. Well, best of luck to you. One of my friends won that. Weirdly. No, wait. Well, no, it was Amazing Race. It was Amazing Race. My friend Scott Flannery was on that and won, which was quite a thing. It was his dream to be on a reality show. When I lived in Los Angeles, we both live in Seattle now, but when I was living in Los Angeles, I remember he would apply to reality shows all the time, and he hit the jackpot. Hello, who else is here? Tinius is here, and Dave. Hello, V Gray is here. Alex is here. Homemade eggnog. Wait, who's having homemade eggnog? Nanog, did you watch the Ben de la Creme and Jinx Monsoon holiday special? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it a delight? Aren't we so lucky to have those two? Oh, my goodness. I am getting tangled in my cables already, and we're barely 2 minutes in. Twisting der Vol is here. Hello, I love Golden Girls. Oh, well, you're in luck. I found some very fun stuff. Jenny is here. Hello. Jillian is here. Hi, Jillian. And oh my goodness, 0 Point. Is that Loxana? You know what? It's the goddess of empathy. That's who it is. Who else? James Polk. Hello, James Polk. It's winter at last in Mississippi. Oh yeah, how is it there? Does it get very cold? I bet it's not as cold as in Montreal. Gar Simpa 500 is here. Hello, and Norman. Let me know if you need a librarian. I have access to Nexus, to the Lexus Nexus. Different Lexus. Why is it called the Lexus Nexus? I have never understood. It's a research, resource. It's called the Lexus Nexus. I have to assume no connection whatsoever to the car. This isn't a rant video against Paul Lynde, says Joseph. Look, I think I've got it out of my system, but we'll see. We'll see what comes up. You know what? Honestly, we should do one of these about Bewitched. That would be interesting. Dive into some archives about Bewitched and see what people are writing about that. All right. And hello to Canada Bry. Good to see you. Apollo Fellas here. And Geckles. Hello. It's always good to see you, Geckles. Hi. Oh, and Amanda. Hi, everyone. Long-time watcher, first time here. Hello, Amanda. I'm glad you joined. And Avram is here. Hello from Greece. And 0 Point. Hello. A nice smiley face from you. And Taz Devil. My goodness. Well, here we all are. All right. So let's dive right in to the first thing that I found, which was, it was a red herring. I found a red herring. It's a fishy fraud. And Tomer's here. Hello, Tomer. A lot of friends here from a lot of Twitch friends, which is lovely to see. In case you haven't heard, I've been streaming. I've been streaming on Twitch lately over at twitch.tv/MattBaum. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can catch me over there streaming games and having chats. I've just started doing Furry Fridays, where I stream furry-friendly games every Friday. What did we do? Cattails and a short hike yesterday, and that was great fun. I fell off of a mountain. So if you want to hang out some more throughout the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm always there, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/MattBaum. And wait, I might actually have a full URL that I can put on stream. There we go. Oh, there's the full URL right there on stream. Twitch.tv/MattBaum. So come join me for that, because I love hanging out with you all. Let's see. Oh, the wet front amped it up. Wait, what does that? Wait, hold on. There's a conversation happening. Oh, I'm in your zone. It was ridic cold yesterday, says Lynette. Yeah, it's that time of year, everybody. Dr. Teeth Omega is here. Hello, big fan. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much. I'm a big fan of you coming here to hang out with us. So, okay, let's look at some research. So I was looking for some Golden Girls gay stuff. because I'm working on a video. We talked about this on a previous stream. We're working on a video about who should be cast if there were ever to be, and I don't know that there will be, but if there ever were to be a modern reboot of the Golden Girls, who would be in the cast? So I'm working on a video about that. And so I've been looking up some Golden Girls research, and here's the first thing I found. It is from 1938. You might not be aware that The Golden Girls was on in 1938. The reason you might not be aware of that is because it wasn't. So here's something that is not about The Golden Girls, but it uses the phrase anyway. The Golden Girls, what is this? Countless babs keep chasing happiness mirage. So this is, Arsenic and Old Games is now following. Thank you so much on Twitch. I forgot to turn off the overlay, but you know what? Let's keep it there. There's the spinning bunny for when someone follows over on Twitch. We love to see it. Oh, and Ragnar Heaton is now following. Hold on. So here's the thing, is because I've got the spinning bunny when people follow on Twitch, I usually do a spin to celebrate. So we've got 2 followers. Let's do 2 spins. Around, there's 1, and spin number 2. Oh, a successful double spin. And I've also successfully tangled myself in the cords. Okay. So let's see. New York socialite friends of Barbara Hutton, who have watched from box seats her pursuit of happiness ever since her $50,000 debut in a shimmering silver ballroom here 8 years ago, profess to be as surprised as any newspaper reader in Pumpkin Center that the Golden Girls' latest matrimonial venture hasn't clicked. Kiflom123, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it so much. I'm going to spin the other way to try to untangle myself. Here we go. And a spin. Oh, and another spin from Bender Bending Rodriguez is following. I gotta give myself a little nudge for that one. I was not as energetic as the first. Mr. T, we're gonna get to that suggestion. We are gonna get to that Betty White should play Sophia suggestion. Andre says, I have a Golden Girls from 1936 here. Do you live with Babs? So, I guess this is just bonkers. Oh, Timothy Games, I'm gonna get so dizzy. You're gonna spin me out the window by the end of the stream. Hold on. Here we go. Here's one more spin. Whoop. There we go. All right. So I guess this is just some gossip about some lady who's looking for love. But look at this. This is in the where is this? This is the Honolulu Star Bulletin. But it was about somebody in New York for some reason. 36 slow news day, I guess. Oh my lord. This is like such a long. Look at the length of this article here. Okay, so this has nothing to do with the show. Well, maybe... Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I just have to read what they had to write about this woman. As a child, Barbara Hutton had little that a child really needs. When the plump, golden-haired little girl was 12 years old, her inheritance was estimated at $30 million. But she had no mother and no home. When she was only 5, her mother died suddenly, leaving her small daughter to inherit more money from the fortune from her grandmother, F.W. Woolworth. Oh, my God. Is this the Woolworth woman? Is this the person from Woolworth's? This is bananas that they're... Okay, but what... Hold on. Golden Girls life was lived on the front pages of gay... Oh, this is why this came up. Because I was looking for Golden Girls gay. And it was... Her life was lived on the front pages. A gay life spent lunching, teaing, and dancing with Jimmy, Blakely, Georgie Errett, Tony Biddle, Winston Guest, or Phil Plant. Socialites, all. Anyway, so... Poor Babs. I wonder whatever happened to her. We'll worry about her later. We're gonna put her at the far end of the queue. You know, let's make a new group here. Add tab to new group. We're gonna make this the red herrings group. So stuff that might be interesting to research later, but not really related to our current hunt for the actual Golden Girls. Okay, this is more like it. Network shows and crossfire on gays. Always fun to be in the gay crossfire. Scranton Beats is here. Hello. Scranton Beats. Scantron Beats. Hello, Scantron Beats. Apollo says, I'm going to get a Twitch account and follow just to watch you spin. Oh, gosh. Just follow and unfollow, follow and unfollow. Just, like, eventually I'll unscrew myself from the chair and fall over. Anyway, what have we got going on here? She had 6 husbands. Oh, Achille Papin. Oh my goodness. Is this? It's the Woolworths heiress. Oh my god. You guys, you're doing the research for me. This is amazing. She had 6 husbands, including Cary Grant, 2 princes, a baron, and a count. Oh my lord. That's incredible. I love that. Thank you so much for looking that up. Oh, I had no idea that was a thing. Okay, so this is an article from 1991, so midst of Golden Girls. And a brief message about, an article about how there's not enough gays on TV. So here's a blurb about Homer hiring a male secretary, voiced by Harvey Fierstein. This is a time when we had to specify male secretary. Oh, a male secretary. Oh my God. Wait, who's following? Who is that? That was Gek. Gek! Gek, how are you not already a follower? Okay. Technically, I must spin. Hold on a sec. Here we go. Gek. Okay, that was the most tangled of them all yet. Oh. Garsimpa says, Gloria Vanderbilt, also a Golden Girl. Taz Devil, meanwhile, I can't find a boyfriend. Well, you just need to inherit $30 million. God, $30 million in 1936 times. Wait, let's see. 30 million. Wait, adjust for inflation. Let's see. That's going to give us a balloon fetishist website. 1936, 30, then in 2020 would be, oh, okay, $500 million. All right. So, Hawaii's most eligible bachelorettes. Jenny says Harvey Firestein's Simpsons guest appearance is just great. Let me put that on my list for a future video. That might be a good one, because I've done Harvey, I've done the Simpsons, but I've never done them both together. Cannon Bryce says, I didn't even think to follow and unfollow. It's on a cooldown, but if you could, I mean, I think the cooldown's only like 2 minutes, so if you can thwart the cooldown, then all bets are off. Anyway, the message to the medium is blunt, writes John J. O'Connor. Jingleheimer Schmidt, it's time for the television industry to realize that 25 million lesbians and gay men in America, along with our families and friends, make up a significant share of the viewing audience. We're tired of seeing gays represented only as buffoons or villains. Buffoons? Who are the buffoons? Homosexuals are demanding fairer coverage. Oh boy, aren't we all? Should more of an effort be made to portray gays sympathetically, singling them out for special treatment, or should gay... How about just not giving them... They're already getting special treatment if they're all like buffoons and villains. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Homosexuals, on the other hand, tend to be defined primarily by their sexuality. Scon. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow and the dizzying. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me finish this sentence at least. Homosexuals tend to be defined primarily by their sexuality, are too often limited to a handful of tired depictions with sissies at one extreme and black leather fetishists at the other. Oh, that's the richness of queer life. There's so much more. Mad a buffoon. Who are the buffoons? Yeah, as I'm spinning around here. Whee! I think the bald man in the below photo is on Scrubs. Wait, hold on. Wait, the bald man was on... Oh, really? This guy was on Scrubs? That's possible. So I've never watched LA Law, and I've never watched Scrubs. I was just watching some Graham Norton because he had Miriam Margolyes on quite a few times. She's wonderful. And she was on with one of the guys from Friends. Who's the guy? Who's the guy? The one who was gonna be gay, but then they didn't make him gay. Matthew Perry? Is he from Friends, James? Matthew Perry? Yes. Okay. So she had she was sitting next to Matthew Perry on Graham Norton. And she's like, I've never seen Friends. And he's like, Graham Norton's like, you must be the only person on earth. Clearly, I've only seen, gosh, what have I seen? I've seen like clips. I don't think I've ever watched a full episode. I don't think I've ever watched a full episode of Friends. Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched a full episode of Friends. For different reasons than Miriam Margolyes, because she explains that the reason was because Miriam Margolyes used to be part of, I should explain who that is. She used to be part of Norman Lear's circle. Miriam Margolyes, Professor Sprout from Harry Potter, and gosh, a bazillion other things. She was the nurse in Romeo and Juliet, Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. Of course, she's the landlady in the hit motion picture film The Apple. So she's fantastic. She's just wonderful, and she's family, and we love her. She married a Australian woman, and the prime minister was at their wedding, and Miriam Margolyes gave a little speech criticizing the prime minister at her wedding, which was lovely, because she was standing in the way of some marriage equality stuff at the time. Anyway, was it marriage equality or something else? Doesn't matter. Miriam Margolyes said that she was part of Norman Lear's circle in the 70s. No, it must have been the 80s. And Norman Lear introduced her to Marta Kaufman, who was one of the creators of Friends. And Miriam Margolyes was like, and I couldn't stand her. Just she was a terrible person. So she never watched Friends because of that. Has anyone seen Harvey Fierstein do live action Heat Miser, says Amanda. I didn't know that existed. That's amazing. Oh, that sounds great. And regarding buffoons, what a strange one to use. Maudlin sacrificial victims. Wait, what? Is that the origin of that term? Maudlin sacrificial victims? Fascinating. Joseph says, love a leather fetishist. I mean, here's the thing. I could stand to have more leather fetishists on TV. Like, if they just added 3 leather fetishists who just, like, jumped from show to show to show and they just always appear in, like, random roles. Nobody's proposing that. Achille Papin says, Miriam Margolis is a national treasure. She is an international treasure. She is fantastic. Yes, Shen, the landlady in the Apple, she was in Blackadder. Of course she was in Blackadder. I mean, like all British people, like every single British citizen, she has been in both Blackadder and at some point in a Harry Potter film. Joseph says, Graham Norton's kind of attractive. He's got a certain charm. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Homosexuals as a group are at least as diverse as heterosexuals. At least. They can be found among teachers and policemen, performers and composers, priests and professional athletes, doctors, lawyers, and probably even Indian chiefs. Not to mention an occasional umpire. Let's see. Right now there's CJ Lamb on LA Law, who may or may not be bisexual, depending on which episode you watch. We've got CBS's Doctor. I'm not familiar with that one, actually. The offbeat doctor here has a warm and loving relationship with his gay brother. Okay. Oh, there is this one. I haven't covered this one, but I'm aware of it. An episode of Quantum Leap in which a lesbian uses her stiletto heel to kill her lover who wants to take up with a man. Not great. Next season on Roseanne, there'll be further development of character Leon, the boss of department store restaurant. Department store restaurant? What does that mean? The department store restaurant? It definitely wasn't in a department store. Whatever. Okay, and a mention here, of course, the thing that brought us here was the Golden Girls. Blanche's brother arrives for a visit with his homosexual policeman companion. Initially, Blanche is appalled, but in the end, she embraces both men as part of the family. And somebody who's opposed to this, Glad and the Wildman Group. Where's the Wildman Group? Let's see here. The Wildman Group. Somebody does not want... Oh, here we go. Reverend Donald Wildman's American Family Association, of course. None of the product boycotts announced by the American Family Association have been very successful. Anything else good there? Inconvenient woman's portrayal of Hollywood homosexuals. Gossipy twits hanging out at a gay bar featuring dreary Marilyn Monroe clone singers. Wait, that sounds great. Hold on, I want that. Hold on, what's an inconvenient woman? 1980 something? Based on a 1990 novel. So, TV miniseries. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I didn't know that was. Miriam's storytelling is hilarious, and to fall into a cesspool, I'll gladly endorse the sloppy turtle. Miriam played Alessi in The Life and Loves of a She-Devil in 1985. And she was the voice of the Cadbury Caramel Bunny. What? Really? That's incredible. What did the Cadbury Caramel Bunny even say other than buck, buck, buck? Margolis is a riot. She should be on everything. She is great because, so here's one of the reasons I was looking her up is because I have this question that I'm investigating for an upcoming video. Who would be in a modern day reboot of the Golden Girls? And Miriam Margolis, obviously, but is who? I think Blanche, because some of her stories are so raunchy and she tells them so well. Like, she could tell a dirty story so well, but I also feel like she has an unfair advantage here because she could really be any of them. Like, she could easily be Sweethearted Rose because she's so, like, I was going to say pure, but that's not exactly what I mean. Kind. She seems so kind, except when she's like, she was a terrible person, Marta Kaufman. I couldn't stand her. I feel like she could also be Dorothy because she's got that blunt sarcasm. She could be Sophia because she is uninhibited. So anyway, she's one in a million. That's all. Margolis is a riot. Yes, indeed, James Polk. Been watching a lot of the old videos. We ever do one on Normal, Ohio? That looked interesting. Here's the thing with Normal, Ohio. Maybe it wasn't very good. So there's a couple problems with Normal Ohio. One, very hard to find any episodes at all because nobody liked it. Nobody bothered to save it. So hard to find stuff. There's, I think, I don't even know if the pilot is on YouTube. So not very good, and there may just not be much to say about it. It's part of what makes it not very good is like they didn't really have that much to say about gay on the show. Oh, the British version of the Cadbury Bunny. Like, what does the British version say? I'm so interested in that. If homosexuals continue to find themselves portrayed in mainstream television as somehow suspicious outsiders forever relegated to society's fringes, they will simply pick themselves up and take their business elsewhere to other areas of television. There's a gay cable network in New York, their own documentary and film festivals. The third annual New York International Festival of Lesbian Gay Film opens on June 7th. Its theme this year is decent exposure. That sounds terrible. Meanwhile, what is this column on the side here? What are we looking at here? TV ratings. Oh, okay. This is actually kind of interesting too. The top shows? Cry in the Wild. No idea what that is. But then Roseanne, Cheers, Unsolved Mystery, LA Law, Murphy Brown, Designing Women, Manhunt in Dakotas, Different World, Knots Landing, Major Dad, Family Matters, Dinosaurs. Number 13, tied with America's Funniest People. Gosh, what a time to be alive. Get a Life on Fox. I didn't know that was on Fox. I thought it was HBO. All right, so there's that Golden Girl thing. We're gonna slide that back over there. Found a bunch of stuff in the Times Machine, New York Times. So this was the only article I could find in the New York Times that actually addressed how gays like the Golden Girls. Difficult to search though because New York Times had a policy against actually talking about gays, using the term gays. It was all homosexuals. So New York Times does not have the best history with LGBTQ coverage. Odam Cam is here. Hello, Odam Cam. Glad you made it. Oh, Mr. T says 7 episodes of Normal Ohio are on YouTube. I mean, I'll give it a look, but I'm not particularly excited about that one because it was just such a flash in the pan and it didn't last long, didn't do much, wasn't good. So I don't know. I don't feel like there's a lot to say about it there. House of Dames. Great. We're off to a great start here. Is there anything on the opposite page? No. Ad for a mattress. Yeah. Okay. I was wondering if there's anything else to contextualize this, but apparently not. Just House of Dames. Here it is, just randomly in the middle of the New York Times. Gay men are accustomed to keeping secrets about themselves. It's something we learn early on in the game, so shame on me perhaps, but for a long time I told no one about what I did weeknights between 11 and 12. Oh, boy, he's talking about, like, hooking up with people, I guess. I thought he was talking about, like, the Golden Girls, and I was like, oh, did he watch the Golden Girls every weeknight between 11 p.m. and midnight? It may not have been, oh, wait, maybe he is. It may not have been dirty, but it was my little secret. True to my cultural conditioning, I kept it. Then one evening, a few months back in the locker room at a gym, and especially macho plans, we have to later, same as you going home, having dinner, and watching the Golden Girls. Yeah, okay, so that's what this is about. Suddenly, a couple of lockers away, a pumped-up young Puerto Rican who goes by the curious nickname of Coogie Boy stopped changing and started singing. His accent was thick, I reckon it's the title song. Theme song of the Golden Girls. Blah, 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 blah. So this is just describing what the Golden Girls is. Great, thank you. From Coogie Boy, who lives in the Bronx, to many of my exceedingly fashionable neighbors downtown, the kind of men who live in duplexes and receive regular deliveries from Gucci, Prada, and Yoji Yamamoto, it became reassuringly clear that many members of my tribe were comparably well acquainted with the better part of the 180 half-hour episodes, etc. This sure is a boy. This is all right. Give me 600 words that just says a lot of gay people like the Golden Girls. I know this pastel concrete block house in Miami as well as I know my apartment in Manhattan, and the clumps of palms, the beds of ferns, the spongy St. Augustine grass, and the driveway leading directly to the garage that opens onto the street. Okay, yeah, like, beginning to see why this was on page 315. This is not the most revelatory of articles. John says, I remember not liking Normal Ohio at the time. Didn't help that the guy who played the homophobic father was a hardcore religious funny in real life. Father-in-law of Breitbart. I didn't know that. Really? Woof. Okay, maybe there is something to say. Nick says, I was told there was a bar in Hollywood called Rose Tattoo where Waylon Flowers and Madam performed that had huge Golden Girls viewing parties. It's true. There were, and hello, Rezel. There were, like, gay bars would, like, stop what they were doing when Golden Girls came on. Like, they would silence the crowd. Everyone would watch Golden Girls together. And then they'd go back to, you know, I don't know, flirting and hooking up. But Golden Girls was like, all right, everybody stop doing gay bar stuff. We're just going to watch the Golden Girls. Oh, Mr. T's been watching a lot of Golden Girls in quarantine, also Animaniacs. That's an interesting pairing. Never opens. Oh, and Dr. Teeth Omega can get Golden Girls theme sing-alongs going. It's just a thing. I mean, one of the things behind that is just it's a good show. It's funny, it's well written, the characters are great, the acting's great. It's just a good show. But there is something special and gay about it. All right, so this person's just describing the show. What is not familiar from my childhood memory of this house, and what I suspect is the thing that draws me to it now on television, is that this time around 4 same-sex adults live in it, and they use the word family to describe themselves. It doesn't matter that the 4 women who call this house their home are heterosexual, and no, none of them, despite what a cynical friend speculated, reminds me of my mother. What matters is that these women have succeeded in answering the question, what do you do when the Prince Charming, happily ever after fantasy ends? The question is one that gay men grapple with from the moment it dawns on us that the odds of our mating for life are not in our favor. Oh boy. This is 2002. I mean, this feels a little late to be saying that, but whatever. We're not typically invited to share this particular fantasy, somehow beside the point. Most of us know tends to blind sexual orientation. Prejudice don't have much better. Golden Girls suggests each had a point. Each of the 4 women start out life heterosexual hopes. Blah blah blah. Right thing for me. Again, describe. Oh my God, this article is so long, and it's just describing the plot of Golden Girls. I mean, it is a lovely tribute to the show. Okay. Now the prevailing concern is how to snare an adequate supply of men and money in postmenopause years, no matter if they've spent their lives as mothers and wives. Rose, blah, blah, blah. They do their own hair, pile on their makeup, strap on sparkly party dresses, big shoulder pads, and go dancing. When they get sick, they take care of each other. For gay men who succeeded in surviving the worst years of the AIDS epidemic, it's a particular resonance to episodes like the one in which Sophia is convinced she's having a heart attack. As she drifts off to sleep on the living room sofa waiting for the paramedics to arrive, she looks up at Dorothy, Rose, and Blanche hovering over her and says, "This is nice, to die with friends." Yikes. Grim, but yikes. Yeah, I guess that is a good point. The girls also get lucky. They sure do. This is as a somewhat more heartwarming signal than the one sent out by the Friends on Queer as Folk, when an episode celebrated the 30th birthday of the show's unconnected heartthrob stub by throwing up a mock funeral. 4 women offer themselves up as evidence that no matter what the particular facts of your life may be, you are only as much a victim as you allow. On those occasions when one of them does lose her bearings or her courage or her sense of joy, the others instinctively rally around to put her right, like friends, like family, which isn't particularly queer after all. I wonder about that last line. That last line is a little, Amanda says, I started going through Golden Girls for the first time from the beginning at the start of quarantine. It's also my go-to show to watch while I'm eating. I'm actually having lunch while watching the stream. Oh, good. Well, I'm in good company then. I'm in good company with the Golden Girls. Nick says, off topic, I'd love to see you cover the Larry Sanders Show someday. Particularly, Everybody Loves Larry, or Ellen, or isn't she? You know, that's another one. No, I've never watched the Larry Sanders Show. So I'd have to dive into that and educate myself about that one because I've never seen it. Oh, and Sloppy Turtle says, I'm loving these furniture ads. Look at the computer desk with CRT monitor. This is quite a workstation here. Quality delivered direct to you. Often I do get like sucked into the ads in these old papers of like either the old fashion or the weird furnishings or the American leather. There we go. There's a Leatherman they were talking about. This Yves Saint Laurent ad that says something. What's going on in this one? Raw gauche? Is that what it says? Transition. This is not going to be about transgender people, is it? Yeah, no, this is about style and transitioning the style of your home. Yeah, okay, never mind on that. Okay, so a weird article there from the New York Times. Just, here's what the Golden Girls is. That was probably like 1,500 words, just summarizing the show and like a tribute to it. All right, so here's another one from 2002. This one's more about soap. We'll come back to this one in a little bit. 2001, again, post Golden Girls, a brief mention of it, I think. But this is more about like how there's a lot of gay writers in Hollywood. Like, again, like, oh, what a newsflash. Little B. Arthur tribute over here. Another one about gay TV. And oh, here we go, 91. Yeah, so this is what we're looking for. Marty says thespian Rose, not lesbian. Lesbian. I love that episode. You know the one, what is it called? Isn't it Romantic? The episode of Golden Girls where Dorothy's lesbian friend comes to visit, Jean. That was written by, oh shoot, what's his name? Jeffrey Chaucer. No, it was, shoot, what's his name? Jeffrey. Anyway, it's written by this guy, Jeffrey, who he was gay himself. He just wrote this episode on spec, and then sent it to the show and was like, hey, I wrote this script of your show. Do you want to make it? And they did. And that was like his way into the TV industry. Yeah, the author didn't want to actually talk about the queer sphere around the show, keep from alienating the common American, says James Polk. Maybe that's it. Maybe like, because he like brought it up and then like tiptoed away from it, brought it up and tiptoed away from it. It's a weird piece. If I was his editor at the New York Times, I would have been like, this needs work. Lebanese Blanche. Yes, Norman. Yep, Mr. T is still thinking about the Proof of the Pudding restaurant. Oh my God. So on the last live stream, we found this restaurant, this New York restaurant called Proof of the Pudding, or Proof in the Pudding. I think you're right. It was Proof of the Pudding. I don't know. Proof and Pudding. And Cheka, I think, was correct, who I don't think Cheka's here right now, but surmised that it was a mistress restaurant where one brought a lady, a businessman could bring a lady for a meeting without being seen. But the weirdest menu, like alcoholic soups. I can't stop thinking about the alcoholic soups, honestly. Like, what? Jeffrey Dutiel. Oh, Achille Papin, thank you so much. Jeff Dutiel. Yes, the wonderful Jeff Dutiel, who also a producer on LL Cool J's sitcom that had RuPaul as a guest. I have a video about that episode here on my YouTube. Let's see. What else are we looking at here? TV's mixed signals. The message of the medium is blunt. It is time for the television. Oh, this is the one that we were reading before. Here it is just now fully in the New York Times. Isn't that funny? Okay. Different pictures. But yeah, the same article that we were looking at in, what was the other newspaper that we were looking at? I'm going to close that window already. Oh well. Whatever. Worry about it later. Yeah, so here's that just article recycled over here. Out of the 60s into his 50s. Article about Bob Dylan growing up. Just curious, I'm going to follow this article to... Oh, and look at this guy. Hello, Royal Ballet at the Met. Follow this article to page 32 to see if that... Page 32. Page numbers. Page 32. Where are we looking here? Okay, this is let's 32, 30. Sometimes, if there's one gay article, they'll put something gay next to it. So I just want to see if they've done anything. No, I mean they've got some more illustrations here, some more photos, but it doesn't look like they've got anything else. Doesn't look like there's anything else gay to accompany it. Oh, well. Amanda says, a sugar daddy who brings me boozy soup is a hard bargain. Somebody says, are the comments not updating correctly? Hopefully they are. I think there is always a little lag, a little delay. But hopefully they're updating correctly. Charles Ritz says, I would love to see a male stage version or a TV version of Maude. Who would play Maude? Oh, boy, that's a good question. Who would play Maude today? Well, I do have some thoughts on that. I do have some thoughts on who's a modern Maude. Let's see here. Dorothy. So, I've been putting together, for this video that I'm working on, a list of actors who could step into the roles of the Golden Girls. And Yeah, so I've got a couple thoughts on who would be a good Dorothy, and you'll see this in the video that I'm working on. It'll be out in a few days. But among the people that I'm like, oh, maybe that could be a good Dorothy. Lily Tomlin. You see Lily Tomlin as a Dorothy on Golden Girls. I could also see her as a Maude on Maude. Jane Lynch. Jane Lynch, I think, would make a good Dorothy. She's queer, so we'd love to give work to the queer actors. And Wanda Sykes, another queer actor. Imagine Wanda Sykes as, actually, now that I think about this, more than seeing her as, I'm just making a note of this, or Maude. I think Wanda Sykes would be a great Dorothy, but I would actually love to see Wanda Sykes in a reboot of Maude. Imagine that. That would be fantastic. Amanda says John Barrowman could play Maude. I was, for this, I'm keeping it strictly no drag roles, because that has been done, but there are a lot of drag performers who like have that on lock, who have made their mark as the drag Golden Girls show, and I don't know that I want to see that on TV. I like seeing it in live theater. Ugh. Christine Baranski for Dorothy says Sid and the others. Christine Baranski, I think I actually have her on here. Oh yeah, I absolutely do. But I was thinking Christine Baranski for Blanche, honestly, because I feel like she's got. Have you ever seen that clip of her responding to someone telling her that she has big dick energy and she's like into it? I feel like she's a better Blanche than a Dorothy. Charles Ritt likes Diane Wiest as Rose. Sloppy Turtle likes Jane Lynch as Maude. And Dr. Teeth Omega says, remember the Incredible Shrinking Woman with Lily Tomlin? Of course. Who could forget the Incredible Shrinking Woman with Lily Tomlin? Have her play Dorothy as a shrinking woman. All right, I'm not seeing anything else really exciting in here, so we're going to call this one. We're going to wrap this one up. Except, who's this? Who's this happy lady over here? Mel Gorham is in Charge It, Please. Carlos Gorbea's Comedy with Music. She looks like she's having a ball. Well, I'm happy for her. I hope her 1991 was as good as it could have been. All right, let's close this one out. And what else have we got? Oh, here's another one. Here's another red herring that I found. Oh, Mr. T, Marissa Tomei could be Blanche, I think. Or maybe Sophia if she put on a wig. I think I could say, honestly, I haven't seen Marissa Tomei in enough things to really judge like what would be the right role for her. John says Vicki Lawrence for Dorothy. Granted, she's essentially played that her whole life, but now she's actually the right age. I left Carol Burnett and Vicki Lawrence off my list. They were on like the long list, but I like edited them out because I'm like, I feel like they're too identifiable with that particular pairing there, and like it feels weird to me to put them in Golden Girls. Okay, so yes, here's another red herring that I found. This is not actually about the Golden Girls. It's just about other Golden Girls. I also wanted to highlight men's coats, the trend away from the dandy. So we'll get to that. But I just wanted to highlight this one. What is a Golden Girl? In California, she's the media's term for almost any young woman, especially if she has long blonde hair. At Purdue University, she is the featured baton twirler in the university's marching band. She wears a skimpy golden sequined uniform. And at Kennedy International Airport, she is a bilingual college student who is a sort of unofficial city greeter to the weary and bewildered travelers from all over the world. Very different understanding of what a Golden Girl is. Mrs. Fern Giambattista is boss of 50 Golden Girls who aid travelers. Imagine if you landed at JFK and there were Golden Girls, like modern-day Golden Girls, to greet you. Ugh. Norman Buckwald says, Allison Janney is Dorothy. Absolutely. Do I have her on my list? Allison Janney? Yeah. Oh, actually, no. I have Allison Janney on my list as Sophia, and I'll tell you why. Because I was thinking, if we get Lily Tomlin for Dorothy, why not also get Dolly Parton for Rose, Jane Fonda for Blanche? We've got the 9 to 5 cast now, and then who would be Sophia in that group? Allison Janney, because she was in 9 to 5 on Broadway. So it's a 9 to 5 Golden Girl. That's my scheme. All right. Mr. T-Bone says there's going to be a whole generation for whom Marissa Tomei will always be hot Aunt May. Forgot about that. Yeah, of course. I don't feel like that role lines up with any of the Golden Girls. So I'm still not sure about Marissa Tomei in this little endeavor. And Sally Field is Rose. Yes, actually, Sloppy Turtle. That's a very good one. I'm actually putting that on my list. Hold on, let's see. Let's do putting her on here, and Sally Field as Rose. That's quite good. That's quite good, Sloppy Turtle. I think we may actually. Has Sally Field ever done a sitcom?
Gidget.
James says Gidget? Oh my god!
And the Flying Nun.
And the Flying Nun, of course! Of course! Okay, great. 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 I said great 3 times in honor of Sally Field. All right. That's actually very good. Yes. Yes, of course. All right. Anyway, so this is just an article about how they call them Golden Girls, basically people who are giving you directions at the airport. They wear short-sleeved golden dresses. They're college students who speak multiple languages. Best summer job I've ever had, says Chris Blazowicz, 19 of Brooklyn. It is, also kind of a sign of the times. It's like, only girls can have this job. Also, these are women. These are college women, but we're calling them girls. 5-day, 40-hour week. Oh, my God. Okay. I thought, while going to college, but no, it's a summer job. Oh, God. And here we go. We try to find attractive, personable young ladies. She was a helicopter stewardess. Oh, my goodness. I didn't even know that was a thing. Anyway, where do I find my luggage? Yeah. Almost 2.5 hours translating for a group of angry German tourists who had a mix-up. Because of helped travelers who have fainted, had heart attacks, or fallen down escalators. This place sounds dangerous. Was present one night when a customs inspector nabbed a heroin smuggler. Americans the rudest. I saw Muhammad Ali last week. I even saw Sidney Poitier. Last time I even got to touch him because I asked him for his autograph. Americans are by far the rudest of the travelers who pass through the International Rivals building. Well, some things never change. And over here we've got the men's coats trending away from the dandy. Well, I'll leave it more dandy for the gays, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. These actually look pretty dandy to me. What do I know about fashion? Anything else fun around here? Spread of marijuana creates new specialist. The drug lawyer. Einstein Mumji devalues the carpet. What? Einstein Mumji devalues the carpet. Okay, that's some way to announce a rug sale. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else real good over here. Paul Hoffman's leaving the UN, everybody. Child given to adoption agency pending approval. Esther Driver Regal's bride to C.L. Flanders of Delaware. Lawyer weds Miss Singer. Pornography shops clean up windows to comply with law. Abby Hoffman accused before court of peers. There's a story here. I feel like this is honestly, this is so often that, this sums up what a lot of my searching through old newspaper archives is. There's a story here somewhere. All right, let's close this one down. What else have we got here? Okay, so this is just when the Golden Girls was premiering. NBC's Golden Girls gambles on grown-ups. Is this going to be anything like when September 1985, when the show's just premiering, then news was like, look at this crazy idea. Is this going to go anywhere? Nah. Oh, Marlo Thomas, Charles Root, that's a good idea too. Yeah, and Jared said if you saw the Zoom recording of the Golden Girls episode, Tracy Ellis Ross's Rose was amazing. I wish that was available, so I've gone looking for that. I can find low quality versions that people saved, but they're really low, really bad quality. So it's hard to find that. I know that they were doing it as a fundraiser, so they want to be able to use it where that's going to do the most good. But boy, I wish that was available. I wish that was available to watch. All right, so this is a little story about how Golden Girls happened. It's so interesting to see this because, 85, they're skeptical that Golden Girls could ever be a thing. A woman's worth is tied into what she looks like, says Susan Harris. At 82, Cary Grant could still be a romantic lead, but on television, a woman over 50 is cast as an axe murderer. So, of course, Susan Harris, creator of the Golden Girls, formerly creator of Soap. Paul Paul Schulman, who buys $165 million worth of television advertising a year for clients, has purchased the Golden Girls for Ralston Purina, not because older people have cats and dogs, but because younger people have cats and dogs too, and the Golden Girls will do extremely well with younger people. So even then, they knew that there was some crossover appeal. Speaking of, by the way, Lily Tomlin, there she is. Lily Tomlin, Comedy with Bite. Who would have known? Who could have guessed that 35 years later, we'd be talking about her in the context of this article, in the context of that article? What's this timeline up here? Film Festival 23, more hits than misses. All right, well, we'll look at that later. Who's at home on Saturday night? An awful lot of people who used to be big Love Boat fans will eat Golden Girls up. While the show's being taped, audiences stand up and applaud these 4 terrific ladies for 2 minutes. Betty White is frightened by the rain of praise from television writers that has already landed on the heads of Golden Girls. In all the 100 years I've been in this... I wish this jumped to the next page automatically, but... Let's see, page 25, and we're on page 1, so that's going to be page... let's go to 282. There we go. I've never seen this kind of pre-hype, she says. Well, at least they can't miss the fact we're on. We will not go down by default. Like, isn't this wild that they were talking about, like, well, if the show stinks, at least they'll know about it. Ashley says, do you have the Q guide to the Golden Girls? Must have a bibliography you consult to find some resources. Oh, no, I don't know about that. Oh, and hello, who is that? Mr. Eyebrows is now following. Thank you, Mr. Eyebrows. Thank you for the follow. Let's do a spin to celebrate. Yes, a follower over on Twitch, where I am streaming during the week. I'll talk about that in just a moment after I'm done spinning. Whee! Thanks for the follow. Okay, so yes, as I mentioned, and if you were here at the beginning of the stream, you might have heard, I'm streaming over on Twitch these days during the week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can come hang out, play some games, talk about queer stuff, have a good time, relax. On Fridays, I do Furry Fridays. On Wednesdays, I'm thinking I might do Weird Wednesdays. I might stream some weird games. So we just play some games, we hang out, we chat, we spend a couple hours just being pals. Just being pals on Twitch, twitch.tv/MattBaum. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific. Come join me over there. Let's see. Norman says, who would play Coco in a reboot? Now that is a question for a whole other video. There's a lot to say about Coco. Sloppy says it was the first show that specifically displayed an older cohort. Well, Love Boat was a little up there as an age too, but not exclusively. Woo! And Light Candles following too. Okay, we're gonna spin again, and maybe. Oh boy, it's getting hard for me to move around here because the cables are getting all tangled in the chair again. I might need to take a break and untangle myself. Here we go. So, and Sir Parker Posey. What a great name. Sir Parker Posey is such a good screen name. Hold on. All right, we're gonna do the spin. Here we go. One, and can we get a second? Oh, we're coming up on 2. It's close enough to 2. Let's call that 2. Where did my headphones go? Gosh. I remember sitting on the sofa with my mom watching the premiere when I was 5. 227 premiered that night too? Throwing the Facts of Life on Saturday NBC was the best night for young Gayling. Wow, that is some great programming. I actually want to take note of that. What a lineup. I'm just going to write a little note here that it was 227, Facts of Life, and yeah, what a way to spend a Saturday. Oh boy. Glancing at what I've done to these cables, it's not looking, it's grim. It's not looking good. And Aaron, I'm sorry, are you having internet problems? Blah. I hope that resolves itself. Scotty Baxter's here. Hey, what's up? Hello, Scotty. Thanks for joining. We're looking through some newspaper archives at the Golden Girls. And what was Golden Girls when it was first debuting? Did people have any idea what they were about to get? And the answer is maybe. They thought maybe it'll be good. Nobody seemed really confident about it. Except this one guy who buys advertising for dog food. All right, Miss Harris, who wrote the controversial Maud's abortion segment of Maud, and both Soap and Benson is also scared. At least she grins. It's a high-class problem to have. There's a second astonishing thing about the Golden Girls. It was not sold to NBC. It came from the network. It came in August 1984, before CBS's Murder, She Wrote. Oh, gosh, yeah. On a promotional program for a 1984 season, Selma Diamond did a 1-minute sketch introducing Miami Vice, says Warren Littlefield, NBC vice president for series. She said something like, Miami Nice. It must be about a bunch of old people sitting around playing pinochle. On television, you're always looking for a handsome 35-year-old leading man with a sense of humor. You're looking for... 35, jeez. That was another time. And he's impossible to find. I said to Brandon, at least we could cast Miami Nice. Brandon Tartikoff, president of NBC, agreed, and when two television producers, Paul Witt and Tony Thomas, came in a few weeks later to pitch an idea for a series, they were told, we don't like your idea, but we'll give you one. Take some women around 60, society's written them off, they're over the hill, we want them to be feisty as hell and having a great time. You won't put it on the air, was Mr. Witt's suspicious response. He was given a commitment for 13 episodes before a single word was written. What a time. We knew the show would be breaking one of the basic television rules, says Mr. Littlefield, but all of our best shows scared us a bit. We propelled Golden Girls because we knew there was nothing like it on the air, and the last year or two, what has worked on television is what's different. Miss Harris says, I had to write Golden Girls, who's lithe and long-limbed with tawny Farrah Fawcett hair cascading around her face. How strange that they don't describe the male executive's hair and how it cascades. I wonder how, what are their names? I wonder how Brandon Tartikoff's hair cascades. She says, I could write grown-ups. Television is... Oh, and Brian, Jeffrey, BB, thank you so much for the spit. All that spitting, so dead or alive. Thank you, yes. Or Wonder Woman. Either one or the other. Thank you so much for the tip. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending a Saturday here with me as I do this ridiculousness for you all. Television is always several steps behind life. When do you see passionate older people on television? 2 weeks ago, we were rehearsing a show in which Betty White had her first affair since the death of her husband 15 years ago. There's one scene in which she and the man passionately kiss. I don't think I've ever seen that before on television. There is life over 50. What a relief. 4 stars rehearsing a show in which Rose, blah, 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 center of the episode, Dorothy, no nonsense, was having an affair with the married man, 80-year-old Estelle Getty. 80-year-old mother, Sophia, played by Estelle Getty, was far younger. Miss Arthur, oh, let's face it, says B. Arthur, nobody ever asked me to play Juliet. Bare-legged in white ducks, wait, what? Bare-legged in white ducks, sandals, and sweater, and wearing no makeup or jewelry. Miss Arthur is as brisk and commanding as her character. In a fluffy, white, sexy, looped sweater and slacks, Miss McClanahan epitomizes hers. It is Betty White who is playing farthest from her real persona as Rose, who makes an art of naivete. In real life, says Miss White, it's my disease to smart off. After listening to the others argue with the director Jim Drake over changing several lines of the script, she cracks, hey, my father's a barn. Let's get some costumes and put on a show. Out of character, the 3 women often play off each other like a comedy team, trying to get a line past the censor. Miss McClanahan suggests she shot him in the doolollies. That's a southern expression. She shot him in the West Indies? Questions Miss Arthur. She shot him in his pajamas, suggests Miss White. Miss McClanahan turns and catches a loop of her sweater on a chair. She shot him in the loops, says Miss White triumphantly. They sound like the best of friends, even though we know that they were not actually, that Betty White and B. Arthur didn't always get along so great. Miss White and Miss McClanahan work together on Mama's Family. There is no weak link in our chain, says Miss Arthur, eating a box of Milk Duds. For the first time, there isn't a dud in the crowd. It's like being back with Norman Lear. It's a joy. So it's nice to see their enthusiasm for the show. Oh, wait, what was this? Oh, they actually talk about Coco. Words about camaraderie come easy. The proof is that all 4 women are willing to give their funniest lines away if they feel the jokes would work better in the mouth of another character. We'll even suggest it, says Miss Getty. They mesh so well that the 5th main character, a homosexual cook who was created to interact with the women individually, was dropped after the pilot episode. And that's all he gets. That's the only mention he gets. Only a few years older than the other 3 women, despite playing blah blah Miss Getty, blah 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 blah. All right, that's the only mention of Coco. The homosexual cook. James Polk says, the 80s was the age of youth. MTV really morphed the media landscape for the 18 to 31 demographic. Golden Girls cast and runners had reason to be nervous. Yeah, what's crazy is that this article is like, oh, we're always looking for the 35-year-old star. And like today, I feel like it's like the early 20-something star. Nick Styler says, Queen Latifah's Dorothy, Jennifer Lewis as Sophia. That's a great idea. I do have both of them on my list. And seeing Queen Latifah and Jennifer Lewis together would be so good. Oh, and Marla Gibbs as Sophia. Yeah, okay. Marla Gibbs would be great too. Yeah, although, yeah, Nick says she's turning 90 next year. You might be pushing it. Look, I'm ready to bring her out of retirement. Is she ready to come out of retirement? I don't know. She's ready for a break. I'm sure she's ready to. She doesn't need like, oh, good, a job. I'm 90 something. Just what I need. Something to wake up in the morning and exhaust me. Aaron says, I'm curious if you know what the stars felt about gays. Were they the reason the homosexual cook got axed? No, not at all. In fact, everyone on that show was a great ally. B. Arthur, of course, donated a ton of money to LGBT causes, including a shelter in New York after she passed away. Estelle Getty, another great friend to the gays. She used to throw parties at her house for like all of her gay friends. Rue McClanahan loved her gay fans. She talked about them frequently. Betty White, of course, loves the gays. She's talked about them as well. So all of them, like, fantastic allies for all the gay following that they had. So no, it was not because of the stars that Coco was dropped. Mr. T says, I wish Coco was part of the main cast. Oh, Dabney Coleman is Stan. That's pretty good, Sloppy Turtle. Dabney Coleman is Stan, I could see. That actually works. He'd be good. Yeah, he'd be good. Actually, so one of the things that I'm considering while I'm putting together like this prospective cast for who would be on a reboot is the person an ally or a queer themselves? Have they done anything to bolster the cause or whatever, help queer people out? And a name that you will not recognize. Oh, Marla's still doing TV. She did a small part in Station 19. All right, there you go. A name you will not recognize. Let me see. Let me find her here. Chase Masterson, unless you're a real nerd. Chase Masterson, not a super high-profile actress. She played Lita, the Dabo girl on DS9. That, I think, might be one of her most prominent roles. Huge LGBT advocate in real life. She has started organizations. She leads fundraisers for anti-bullying initiatives. And I think she would be a great Rose. Or Blanche, but I think Rose would be better because she's got this like innocence and like this sort of like wide-eyed, optimism on DS9. And I'd love to see her bring that to a Rose in a modern reboot. Anyway, so Chase Masterson, great friend to the gays. Marla did okay in that Norman Lear Jefferson special. Oh yeah, but her age really showed. Love her though, says Donnie Hollandale. Hollandale. Am I saying that right? Yes, Hollandale. I'm always worried I'm mispronouncing absolutely everything. Mr. T-Bone says if they did a feature film Golden Girls, I could see it with Lily Tomlin, Bette Midler, and Cher. Lily Tomlin, Bette Midler, and Cher. So Lily Tomlin is Dorothy. Here's the thing. I feel like they're all Dorothys. Bette Midler is Blanche. Bette Midler is Blanche. Who's the Rose in that group is the problem. Like, I feel like they're all Dorothys. I could maybe see Bette as Blanche. I don't see a Rose between the three of them. And I don't see a Sophia exactly. Yeah, I like those actresses. This is the problem, obviously. Is like there's a lot of actresses you want to see together, but there's this particular dynamic that you need for a Golden Girling that I'm not sure we've got quite right in that combination. Here's another red herring, of course. Radner's Golden Girls. This is from 1906. Not relevant to our search. Magic Mike just joined. Hearing who could be in a modern reboot. I wonder if Fran Drescher would be right. I don't know who she would play, though. Maybe Blanche. I think she would be a good... Let's see. I actually do have her on my list. Who did I think she would be good as? Fran Drescher as I was putting her in as Sophia. Oh, yes, because Fran Drescher, very good at being blunt, speaking her mind, holding nothing back. Also, Fran Drescher has played an old lady. She played George's mother on Seinfeld. She was the stand-in for Estelle Getty. When Estelle Getty couldn't make it to set, they'd get Fran Drescher to stand in for her. They'd tape with... You can find a clip on this on YouTube. They would tape with Fran Drescher, and then later on, they tape with Estelle Getty and just, like, edit her in.
Not Estelle Getty.
What?
Not Estelle Getty.
Not Estelle Getty. Who did I say? Estelle Harris. Estelle Harris. I'm sorry, that's very confusing. Estelle Harris, who played George's mother on Seinfeld. Yeah. And Mr. T is raising a great question. Who would play Coco if they did the pilot? Who plays sassy gay friend today? You know what? Honestly, I'd want to get the comedian who played like the sassy gay friend on those YouTube videos from a couple years ago. He'd be good. Is there a sassy gay friend archetype on TV now? Like it was everywhere in the 80s and even into the 90s. But I'm wondering, I'm trying to think, do we have one? I guess Billy Eichner? We could do Billy Eichner as Coco. I feel like that's really wasting his talents. I mean, the thing is Coco just doesn't have that much to do. Coco's got to be the straight man, is the thing, so to speak. Coco is the one for the...
Cruz.
What's that?
Wilson Cruz.
Wilson Cruz. Yeah, okay, yeah, Wilson Cruz. Yep. He doesn't need to get the funny lines. He sets them up for the funny lines. And Aaron says, I'd play Coco. Yes, perfect. Tom Jenkins, interesting idea. Leslie Jordan is Blanche, but not in drag. Interesting idea. So there was going to be a male... So here's the thing. There's going to be a male Golden Girls-ish show. Or Dan Levy, Cantina. That's a great idea. Dan Levy would be very good. Or Titus Burgess, who played Titus on Kimmy Schmidt. That's a great idea, too. Oh, Sloppy Turtle said, who's the sassy guy in the Airplane movie? Steven Stucker. Sadly no longer with us, but he would be very fun. He was great, too. You can find clips of him on YouTube appearing on talk shows and talking about gay stuff in the 80s, because, you know, kind of obvious what was going on with him, so it's not like he's going to be like, no, not me, I'm not gay. I think he, I want to say he did some HIV advocacy in the 80s as well, I think. Anyway, he's great. I do adore him. Interesting. Mr. T-Bone says Patton Oswalt only makes sense. Oh, if you've seen a stand-up about how he never play a sassy gay friend again. Did he play a lot of sassy gay friends? Wasn't aware of that. Anyway, here's another article that I found. Not exactly what I was looking for. Radnor's Golden Girls. 253 of them have 253 of them under President Eshman's guardianship have passed on. It sounds like it's saying, first of all, Radnor sounds like some sort of like arcane god. And 253 of them have passed on. Sounds like they've died. Nope. This is just a news article about a college field trip. They were in town, but they have gone. The girls of Radnor College. There were 253 of them. None were left when they departed yesterday afternoon for Washington, in charge of the president of their college. With pastors back from summer vacations, aldermen at City Hall, they nevertheless escaped to pursue their education. I guess this is... The point of this article seems to be like, those young nubile college girls have left town, and none of them got married, so don't bother trying to date them anymore. Outside of the hotel, of big sightseeing automobiles gathered early yesterday morning to let the young women have a view of the city. They had a peek at Albany, came down the Hudson by boat. They were ready for New York. They went from the hotel up Broadway, through Central Park to Grant's Tomb, then across to Upper Fifth Avenue, down past Millionaire's Row, back into the hotel where they gathered their belongings, took train to Baltimore and Washington. Using the capital city as a center, they will make trips to the surrounding spots of historic interest, finally return to their alma mater for the opening of the session on October 1st. October 1st? The most noticeable thing was that not 1 in 10 of the visitors was a brunette. With its rapidly growing population of dark-eyed foreigners, the New Yorker is beginning to look on golden tresses as the result of peroxide or a freak of nature. The blondes from the South, with the sunlight in their hair, proved a genuine surprise. President Eshman of Radnor College pays all expenses of the trip. He does this every year. Just, like, what a weird article. Anyway, next to what is doing in society. But I also wanted to point this out. Girl wants to be a sailor. We absolutely have to read this. Yeah, Mr. T, Radnor the Barbarian. And J. Paul Reed is correct. The article is oddly stalkery. Close to you, 28. Hello to you from Denmark. Hello to you in Denmark. Hi, good to see you. I think you joined us in the Twitch streams recently, so good to see you here. And by the way, if you haven't heard, I've already talked about this a bit, but I'm streaming over on Twitch during the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can catch me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/mattbaum. Where I stream games. We talk about what's going on in our lives. We hang out. We have a good little chat. Sometimes we beat the bad guys. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes I fall off of a mountain. That's what happened yesterday. I won. I got to the end of a short hike, and as a reward, at the end of the game, it propels you up into the air, and you can do a slow glide around a mountain, and it's beautiful. But I didn't realize that you were supposed to glide, and I just let it like propel me up into the air instead of gliding around the mountain. I plummeted as fast as possible to Earth and like just slammed, my character's face slammed into the ground at the base of the mountain. It was a real triumph for me. Anyway, hello, close to you. I can't remember if you were present for my, yep, I was there. Okay, great. Glad that you caught that. I'm going to tweet a clip of that later today. So you can find a clip of me face planting on my Twitter a little bit later today. Yep, Hank Morgan, the blondes from the South with the sunlight in their hair could be your Twitter bio. That sounds pretty good. Girl wants to be a sailor is this much more interesting article over here. Whoops. Oh no. Where did it go? I accidentally clicked away. Can I go back? Yes, I can. Runaways found tattooed in the Bowery. Tattooers arrested. Madeline Altman, the runaway 15-year-old daughter of a produce merchant of Willoughby Market, Brooklyn, was taken from the Bowery yesterday by agents of the Children's Society. She was found with 2 sailors from the President's yacht Mayflower, and her right arm was in bandages, which hid an ornate but new piece of tattooing. The girl said she wanted to be a sailor, and that she intended to don men's clothes and enlist in the Navy. To help disguise her sex, she said she had been tattooed. The girl said the tattooing had been done by Peter Farley of 5 Chatham Square, Sam Riley, blah, 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 at the instance of the society. The 3 men were summoned to the Tombs Court yesterday and held for endangering a minor. The girl's right arm is badly swollen and there's danger of blood poisoning. Yikes! She sounds fascinating. I want to know everything about Madeline Altman. Let's see if... Unlikely, but is there any future news after 1906 about Madeline Altman? Madeline Altman, not Madeline Albright. Madeline Altman, creative writing teacher, storytelling, probably. Well, New York. Couldn't possibly. She would be 104 now. So unfortunately, it's such a common name. Well, here's an obituary for somebody. It's such a common name that... Memorial... Gonna be hard to find anybody. This is not her, writer, performer, producer. Not the Madeline Altman we're looking for. Aaron Thor says, I love the tattoo girl. That's a fascinating story. Yeah, I know. Shen says, make this girl's story a movie. Right? And Rosalind Cho as Rosa Dorothy should be good in both roles. I don't know Rosalind Cho. Tell me who that is. Have I seen her in anything? Let's see. Well, she was a lifelong resident of Bostwick, wherever that is. Probably not the same person. Member of the Bostwick Baptist Church. Probably not the same lady. In Bostwick, Florida. Not her. Different Madeline Altman. We gotta find out more about Madeline Altman, though. Madeline Altman. Oops. Gosh. Madeline Altman. I'm spelling it right? Yeah. New York? Yeah, it's just such a common name, unfortunately. I'm finding a lot of people who are actually quite young. It's interesting. There are a lot of college students with that name. 1936 to 2007. I mean, I guess we could try searching Ancestry.com. This is a whole thing. We're not going to get into that. I'm not signing up for things. Times Machine. Just curious if there's any other coverage about her. Madeline Altman. Did she ever get to be a sailor? Not even that article comes up. Madeline. I'm spelling it right? Madeline Altman. Madeline Altman. Yeah. I'm not sure why it gave me this page from 1988. Oh, it's probably Madeline Albright's on here somewhere. Oh, but yeah, make a Netflix original pitch, J. Paul Reed. You're absolutely right. Yeah, and Kiflam that's a good point. That's a girl. No, it can't be. She's got a tattoo. Hank Morgan says my great aunt lived to be 110. Runaway Grocer's Daughter, starring Millie Bobby Brown. Honestly, yes. Oh, Rosalind O'Brien's wife. Oh, yes, that would be great. And hello, I missed who followed. Oh, dear. Somebody followed over on Twitch. I missed who it was, but thank you so much. That gets a spin. If I can back my chair up, like it is completely entangled in the cables. For every spin on Twitch, I do a little spin to celebrate. For every spin on Twitch? For every follow on Twitch. Oh, wait. Here it is. It's Gold Stag Beetle. There it is. Okay. Gold Stag Beetle. Thank you for the follow. That gets a spin. Here we go. A spin. And, oh boy. Oh, I'm afraid the chair's going to fall apart if I do too many more of those. Whew. Brian Jeffrey says it would be cool if she was a young rebel Madeline Albright and her name was changed to the Article Protector. That would be so good. I don't think the ages work there. Oh, shoot. Why does this keep opening? Madeline Albright. Born in 37. So, yeah, it doesn't quite line up. What is this thing above? Is this anything good? Girl's cry starts an uproar when the medical inspector appears. This is an article about a bunch of children were scared by a doctor. Oh, and who's this one called Monkey is following? Oh, we're going to spin the other way. Oh, if your chair's entangled this chair, spin the other way. Unfortunately, the spin has created these knots that are not defeated by the reverse spin. So what do? I make them worse. Thank you for the follow. Oh, boy. But yeah, do come follow over on Twitch. I love to have friends over there. And Eliza Wright, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's happening? I'm like a helicopter here. Here I go, spinning the other way. Yeah. This is all possible, by the way, thanks to this. I got this lovely new chair a while ago. I had an IKEA chair for literally like 14 years. It was the most uncomfortable thing in the world. And finally I was like, I'm actually having trouble sleeping because my back hurts after sitting in it. And so I got this new chair, and now I can actually work. It literally makes me more productive, in addition to being a buffoon. Taz says, now stand up and do Wonder Woman. Oh no, Matt Mills. Matt Mills, thank you for the follow, and thank you for dizzying me even further. Here we go, everybody. Here we go. Oh boy. I can hear things clattering around. Hold on. I got to do something about this. Because something is going to break. Hold on here. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. But I do need to move the chair, because I'm afraid that, like, there's an electrical cable, and I'm afraid I'm going to get electrocuted by the chair. Daztev is now following, but now I can spin more safely. Here we go. Yes, Tazdev, thank you for the follow. But of course, we need the audience to actually join us for one of these streams. So I hope all these follows, I hope everybody who's following, do actually turn your notifications on so you can get a little notification when I go live, and we can play some games together. If the Madeline story is a possible... that's a good point, Canada Bry. You might not find anything by searching for that name, because she might have changed it at some point. That's a great point. So many questions about what happened to this person. First of all, did she get blood poisoning? Which is a bit of a worry. Madeline Altman. I'm going to search a different archive. Newspapers.com. Madeline Altman. What a discovery, this 15-year-old woman. Oh, wait, okay, 1907. What year are we looking at here? 1906. So here's something from the Buffalo Evening News. Buffalo Commercial, 1907. Something from 1911. Oh, Vassar College. I wonder if this may be the same person. Maybe. Really should have restricted the dates here. Here's one from 1908. Let's just all be like a totally different Madeline Altman. 1953, maybe. All right, let's see what we've got. So this is the morning exercises. What is this? Gossip and comment of the day. St. Mark's commencement, very interesting ceremonies, custom participated with Reverend Bishop. So this is Buffalo, New York. After the clergy were ushers, then came Bishop Walker and Miss Madeline Altman, the lady of the day, and the other seniors. This could be her. Oh, and Canada Bryce says she died from the incident. She might be in the obits. That's also a good point. Like her father gets drafted, and she poses a man and joins the Navy in his place of Mr. T. Yeah, like there is a definite Mulan quality to this. So let's see. So this could be. So she was 15 the year earlier, 16 this year. She could have been the lady of the day at this school. Oh, Gamma Dev, thank you for the follow. A Netflix original pitch. Matt Baum investigates while spinning. Whee. There we go. A nice little dance. James, is there a snack for me somewhere?
I'm gonna prepare something.
James is preparing a snack for me.
It won't be a snack.
He says it won't be a snack. Will it be some cakes? Okay, so where is the school? St. Margaret's something something. Then she feels more comfortable presenting as a man, identifies as trans after the worst of Mr. T. I mean, this is an amazing story. St. Margaret's commencement at Trinity Church. St. Margaret's in Buffalo, I'm going to say. I mean, what if, like, the story that we're piecing together, we don't know this is the same Madeline. But the story that I'm piecing together in my headcanon is that she ran away and tried to join the Navy or tried to be a sailor. Her parents were like, "What are we going to do with you?" And they sent her to St. Margaret's. Right? Isn't this it's a St. Margaret's School in Buffalo? Is that a thing? St. Margaret's, Buffalo, New York. Is that a school there still? St. Margaret's Parish. I mean, this seems like the kind of thing you do. Like if you've got like a willful young woman. Well, we're sending you to the church. St. Margaret's Trinity Church, Episcopal Church, the city, lovely in the daintiest of white gowns. Faculty of St. Margaret's. Yeah. Okay. Morning exercise. Honor roll included Madeline Altman. What do these numbers mean? 96.33. Are these their grades? 96.01? These seem like their grades. I was thinking maybe this like indicated like their ages or something, but unless she was like 96 years old, but probably not. Okay, so she might have gotten shipped off to Buffalo. Madeline Albright does not have a tattoo, says Close to You. That's too bad. It's too bad. I would love to see that. All right, let's see. St. Margaret's, Buffalo, New York. Madeline. What was the name that we're looking for? I keep forgetting her name. Altman. Jesus. Madeline Altman. Times. Okay, here's another thing from the Buffalo Times about a marmalade breakfast. Honor of her daughter, something about their daughter, Miss Madeline Altman, from 1903. Okay, we might be tracking her down. Teddy Roosevelt had a chest tattoo. What was it of? Oh my God, that's a lot of text. Hold on. Let's see if we can find in page Altman. Here we go. Mrs. Henry Altman of Milton Manor entertained a number of young folks very informally on Sunday evening for Miss Madeline Altman, who is just home from Vassar. Okay, did she go to Vassar? This is 1909. She would have been 18. Who's just home from Vassar, and I guess Miss Isabel Underwood of Chicago. Did she go to Vassar and meet somebody? All right, we are putting together a story here. There's no reason to believe that this is actually what happened, other than that the names do line up. But here's the story. She was 15 years old. She tried to ship off as a sailor, got a tattoo, disguised herself as a boy on a ship. Her parents were furious. They sent her to St. Margaret's. And then from there, she went to Vassar the next year and met Miss Isabel Underwood of Chicago. This is great. And they formed a Boston marriage. Miss Dorothy Andrews gave a palmistry party on Thursday afternoon. What? Okay. Miss Dorothy Andrews gave a palmistry party on Thursday afternoon for Miss Isabel Underwood, who is the guest of Miss Madeline Altman. Mr. Roland O'Brien and Mr. William Urban gave a theater party for Tuesday evening for Miss Altman and her guests. Palmistry party? What? Hold on. Is that just like a palm reading party?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. And so she's in here somewhere. The Buffalo Evening Times, Altman. Mrs. Henry Altman will entertain a number of young people this afternoon in honor of her daughter, Miss Madeline Altman. So this is 1903, which would have made her 13. And that appears to be the only reference there. Yeah, that's the only reference we can find there. Okay, so we're definitely, okay, we're creating a new tab for Madeline Altman here. Tab group, new group. Madeline Altman. So she's over there. Can close this tab. We've got Madeline Altman was the lady of the day. I bet she was. And we've got, oh, Girl Scouts promote dramatic workshop in Hackensack, New Jersey. Girl Scout Troop 31. This is 53, headed by Mrs. William Foley, leader, and Mrs. Madeline Altman, co-leader. Interesting. 53. So that would have made her what? Like, she would have been quite elderly at that point. It's like, not quite elderly, but she would have been in her 60s. Hello, Kenneth Sorensen. Welcome. We are trying to track down this historical mystery of what happened to a 15-year-old girl who tried to pose as a... I'm sorry, I just saw this other headline. I just got completely distracted by man calls cop monkey jailed. Anyway, this 15-year-old girl who tried to stow away on a ship posing as a boy got a tattoo. Then what happened to her? She may have become a Girl Scout troop leader in Hackensack, New Jersey in the 1950s. So if she was 15 in 1907... she would have been 60, what is this, 60, 53? She would have been like 66, 67 this year. Oh, Cat Woods, that's a good point. Her married name would probably not be her maiden name. Yeah, it's probably not her, though, if she's a Mrs. Of course. But it's interesting here that we've got Mrs. William Foley using the husband's name and Mrs. Madeline Altman co-leader. They would have used, if she wasn't married, they probably would have used Miss, right? Even if she was like 60-something.
Yes.
Yeah, so that might not be her. Also, man calls cop monkey jailed. I love it. You don't call a policeman a monkey, and if you do, you don't repeat it and toss in a few other choice phrases. You don't, that is, unless you want to end up behind bars. All right, so we're gonna get rid of that one. So we might have some clues here, and let's see. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one. Oh. So this is 1908. Miss Madeline Altman spent the Thanksgiving vacation from Vassar College in New York. Miss Edna Randall was the guest for a few days recently of Miss Madeline Altman at Vassar College. Okay, we've got a whole society of Sappho going on here. Coming and going. Miss Cornelia B. Selkirk of Niagara Street will go today to Whitehall Club for a week. Mrs. Henry Altman, Miss Madeline Altman at Bryant Street. We've got an address, kind of. We've got a location. Hold on. Let me refresh that so I can highlight. Mrs. Henry Altman and Miss Madeline Altman of Bryant Street will leave next week for Poughkeepsie, where Miss Madeline Altman enters Vassar College. Okay, 1907. Great. Okay, we've got some locations and dates. From Sailor to Vassar, says Brian Jeffrey. Yeah, that's the title. Keep in mind that they are actors. So, right, wait. Oh, yeah, yes. We're talking about the cast there, yes. Oh, there's a reference to a Madeline Altman Nichols in the Vassar Quarterly of May 1918. Okay. Oh, I love that you guys are finding these leads. This is amazing. Our Madeline's father worked in Brooklyn, according to the 1906 article. I'm so invested right now. I love it. Okay, so wait, hold on. Let's go back to that original article. Where was it? Yeah. Madeline Altman, the runaway 15-year-old daughter, produce merchant of Willoughby Market, Brooklyn. This may be someone completely different, unless the whole family picked up and moved to Buffalo. Not impossible, but maybe a little unlikely. Produce merchant, Willoughby Market, Brooklyn. Willoughby Market, Brooklyn. Altman Produce. I don't know. Let's see what we can find from that. Yeah, nothing immediately coming up in a like contemporary Google search. But what if we search an archive? Because it is a little weird. How far is Buffalo from like New York, from Brooklyn? Brooklyn to Buffalo. It is quite a schlep. Like, it would be weird if they moved 400 miles in 1908. It's possible.
Yeah, people move.
People do move. James is saying people move. It would be a long commute. Yeah, it's true. Taz Devil says, I'm so fascinated by these old newspapers. I spend hours just looking at the ads. Yeah, but Achille, you're right. So he was a produce merchant in one year, and they seem like society types in Buffalo the next. Altman, Brooklyn Produce. Let's see, we got something from the 30s. We got something from 1913, 1915, 1929, 1979. It's probably not going to help. 10 children of Miss Fanny Altman, who died on December 12. This is what? 1936. Astoria. Herman Altman. So perishable. Oh, wait. Hold on. What's this? No, this is a different thing. Corn proved problem. Yeah, I don't think this is related. This is the produce merchant on Willoughby Market. Produce merchant Willoughby Market, Brooklyn. That's probably not the same person. And these Altmans are just completely unrelated. This is the same page. Produce letters, Brooklyn. Produce letters. Refuse to produce letters. What is this? 1913. Intimate friend of Mr. Altman said last night he estimated his fortune between $20 million. Probably not the same guy. Produce merchant, probably not worth $20 million in Brooklyn, 1913. Yeah, Mr. Altman's faith in a high-class Fifth Avenue property. Not him. Let's see. Altman reported drowned in Johnston flood. Turns up rich man. Wife has him arrested. Wait, okay, this is a totally separate, fascinating article. Finds her husband lost 25 years ago, loses him again. Altman reported drowned in Johnson flood, turns up rich man. Wife has him arrested. Longmorn husband gives cash bail of $500 and disappears. Totally separate. Unless this is like a family of fascinating. I don't even know where I'm going. I don't even know where the years don't line up. The years don't line up at all. But I do want to save this article because this is amazing. Just gonna move it out of that tab group. That would be, yeah, it'd be a long commute to Sutarkin. Brooklyn Tech Boats, largest speed in history. Brooklyn Prepability. Brooklyn Altman. Phil Altman's hole-in-one stadium count of 10. This is a golfing article, I think. It's probably not going to help. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the mystery I'm trying to get to here. Oh, what is this? Wait, this is an article from 1979 about the Sex Boys? What? Over the...
Sex boys.
Okay. 2 street gangs give their blessings to a wild new film. Over the years, the Sex Boys and the Crazy Homicides have had their disagreements. 2 years ago, the Brooklyn-based Hispanic gangs met at the corner of Milford and Glenmore Aves. 45 rounds of gunfire. Both the Sex Boys and the Crazy Homicides, however, now agree on one thing. The #1 box office hit, The Warriors. Okay, so much to unpack here. Also, that this article was written by a former New York Police Department officer, Joe Gallick, now a counselor with the Police Athletic League. Post about the Warriors got my attention at the time, and I want to see their colors, uniforms. He also heard ads saying the gang was from Brooklyn. I want to see if anyone in the movie looked familiar. The producers of the Warriors called to find out if the names of the gangs used in the movie were real ones. They weren't. If they had, they could have been a real war. Can you dig it? I was just gunned down by the members of Rogues. Oh, spoilers. The jitterbugging in the movie looked real to me, said Diamond of the fighting. They call fighting jitterbugging? He also thought the subway fare beating and vandalism sequences were realistic. Okay, great. Not at all what we're looking for, but I love that there's a gang called the Sex Boys. That's very intense. So what I was looking for was any clue about this Willoughby Market in Brooklyn. But do they agree about Newman's own popcorn? That's the important question. That's what we got to get to the bottom of here. Okay. Norman says, one could easily write an off-the-wall comedic novel just from the articles found today. I mean, were you here last time I did one of these when we found Proof in the Pudding? The bonkers alcoholic soup restaurant from the 1970s. Yeah, Aaron Thor says, coming soon to a theater near you, The Altmans, The Girl with a Tattoo. Oh, my God. Okay. Let's focus. Focus. I'm trying to find out more about the produce merchant of Willoughby Market, Brooklyn, to see if that takes us anywhere. What is Willoughby Market in Brooklyn? Willoughby Market, Brooklyn. Is it still around? Market, heart of Willoughby. There's the Downtown Natural Market now in Brooklyn. It's on Willoughby Street. Heart of Willoughby and Willoughby Outdoor Market. This could be it, actually. This is not it. Where is this? This is Cleveland. This is Heart of Willoughby and Willoughby Outdoor Market. Oh, geez, I'm just broadcast Facebook here. This is 440. This probably 440 area code is... Yeah, this is Cleveland one. Okay, so it does not exist anymore. Willoughby Market, Brooklyn. There's Willoughby General. Yeah, it looks like there's Willoughby General. There's like a general store. Andre says, came back. What are we looking for now? Okay, Andre. You have missed quite a saga. So it started with, we found this article about a girl who wanted to be a sailor, a 15-year-old girl who ran away from home to become a sailor, got a tattoo in 1906. We're trying to figure out if anything ever happened to her. The Girl Sailor of Willoughby Market, yes. You should whiteboard these things and develop a story to publish. Sailor, Vassar, Monkey Cop. Achilles says there's a Willoughby Street in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. It's wild how a district in Brooklyn has just vanished. Yeah. Let's see if we can find anything in the Times Machine, because... Oops. Spell it right this time. I feel like a New York paper might have something about it. Willoughby Market, Brooklyn. Okay, the Brooklyn Market, 1922. Demand continues for dwelling properties and vacant lots. Okay, it might have disappeared in the 20s. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? Like, maybe the Depression killed it. Premises at 204 Willoughby Avenue, southeast of Grand Avenue, four-story apartment building, blah, blah, blah. Brooklyn Market. Oh, no, this is a real estate market that they're talking about. It's not like a produce market. Yeah, this is not it. Willoughby Market, Brooklyn. Brooklyn Market, Brooklyn Activity, maybe. Old Mart brings 1 million to the city. Yeah, same thing. Brooklyn Market for real estate. Shoulders and sleeves accentuated for fashions for the fall. Washington Market is sold to auction concern seeking investment. The Washington Market was sold at auction. Washington Market is not exactly the same thing, is it? Market solidarity. This may be a mystery to solve another time. But we're going to hang on to all of this Madeline Altman stuff, because this is just absolutely spellbinding. What happened to her? Oh, James has made me a soup, I think. Hold on. I have to get it from him because he doesn't want to appear on camera. Hold on, everybody. There's about to be soup. Thank you. Oh, it's nice and toasty. Oh, this looks very good, James. Is this like a wonton kind of soup here? He had it wrapped in a towel so it wouldn't hurt my hands. This smells so wonderful, James. Thank you so much. I look forward to the challenge of eating this soup with chopsticks.
You always demand chopstick.
He says I always demand chopstick. I do like to have chopsticks. I will need chopsticks for the noodles. Thank you. Andre says, "Is it alcoholic soup?" That's the question.
It could be. Do you want me to put whiskey in it?
He's offering me whiskey. That is quite all right. All right, so we got one Madeline in Brooklyn. We got one Madeline in Buffalo. Oh, and wait, there was a clue from J. Paul Reed, a reference to Madeline Altman Nichols in the Vassar Quarterly of May 1918. Altman Henry Buffalo, the third of four sons of Jacob and Aldhyde Altman, born in Rochester, New York, 1854. Buffalo, the third of four sons of Jacob and Aldhyde Altman, born in Rochester, New York. Henry Altman of Buffalo, third of four sons, Aldhyde Altman, Rochester. So maybe a Rochester connection.
That's the name of the book, The Rochester Connection.
The Rochester Connection. That's, honestly, it's a pretty good name. It's a good name for a detective. Rochester Connection. The President's Yacht. Wait, the President's Yacht? Mayflower? One last thing we might want to try searching for is Children's Society. Madeline Altman. Peter Farley. Tombs Court. Danger minor. Danger of blood poisoning. Yeah, Children's Society, Madeline Altman. I keep wanting to say Albright. So this has nothing to do with the Golden Girls, of course, which is what we began by looking for. But this is the kind of, like, treasure hunt that I love to find. Oh, wait. This might be a different article. This is a follow-up. Down with dog catcher. Foe of canines denounced. Ghost of one man's dog accused of biting child. Okay. There's a lot to look at here. Navy mad lasses tattooed. Here she is. Only 15 years old, is eager to serve on Uncle Sam's ships. Arms and breast marked. Found in bad company and the artists are arrested. Say she may be poisoned. Madeline Altman, 15 years old, pretty and unusually well developed for her age.
Oh no.
Wanted so badly to be a sailor in Uncle Sam's Navy that she ran away from home, had her arms and breast frightfully tattooed, and was prepared to don men's attire, when she fell into the clutches of the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. She was a witness in the Tombs police court against three men charged with scarring her skin with acids to make designs of warships, sailors in uniform, hearts, eagles, and stars and stripes. This is incredible. Her left arm is still in bandages because the tattooing is not healed, and there's said to be grave danger of blood poisoning. Madeline's daughter of a prosperous produce merchant in the Willoughby Market, Brooklyn, up to 3 weeks ago lived with her parents at number 23 Bleecker Street in that borough. She disappeared from home, and after a few days' absence, her father asked police to search for her. A few days? Tattoo to disguise. Agent King of the Children's Society found the girl on the Bowery in the company of a couple of sailors from the USS Mayflower. He arrested her as a wayward child. When searched at the rooms of society, a bundle of photographs of sailors and Uncle Sam's warships and letters from Yankee Jack Tars. Wait, what? Letters from Yankee Jack Tars. Is Jack Tars a person's name? Or is this a boat, the Yankee Jack Tars? Dated all over the world were found. The girl boasted she was in love with Navy life, and she intended to disguise herself and seek enlistment. The girl said that she had had herself tattooed to assist in deceiving the recruiting officers. When the girl was taken by the matron to be bathed, they found on her right arm a large figure of a sailor in full uniform holding an American flag with a red heart above his head. On her breast was a reproduction of a warship and a huge American eagle. Her other arm, which was in bandages, was adorned with anchors, a torpedo boat, and a lighthouse. And J. Paul Reed, I'm going to get to this next. Madeline Altman Nichols, in charge of a movement and organized by the State Employment Bureau, sent out units of women and girls for agricultural work in 4 counties of western New York. Yeah, J. Paul Reed, I love the papers of the day just randomly dox the people in the story. And Magic Mike, I wonder how many days before he was like, let me ask where she is. Like, that's so weird, like, after several days. Peter Farley, known as the New York Pete. New York Pete. He's definitely a character in this story. Whose atelier is the rear of a saloon. Peter Farley, known as New York Pete, William R. Davis, whose atelier is in the rear of a saloon, and Professor Samuel Riley were in court on summonses. Madeline said that the tattooing had been done by the 3 men, none of whom had asked her age. She also told the court that for the last 3 weeks she'd been living in a furnished room at number 32 Bayard Street. 2 of the artists admitted tattooing the girl, and Davis said that he tattooed so many young ladies that he couldn't remember whether Madeline carried with her any of his handiwork or not. The 3 accused were held in $100 each for trial in special sessions for violation of Section 289 of Penal Code, which makes the endangering of a life, health, or morals of a child a misdemeanor. Now, bandaged arms in such a condition may have to be sent to a hospital. Well, we still don't have much more information. Aside from her address, which, okay, thanks. Okay. Number 32 Bayard Street. Hold on a second. 32 Bayard Street, Brooklyn? Was it in Brooklyn or was it somewhere else? 32 Bayard Street still exists. Last 3 weeks. Okay, so that's where she was staying, and her address is 23 Bleecker Street. Oh well, okay. Oh my God. So here's what it looks like now. This is surely what it appeared like in the 1906. Oh, Jack Tars are sailors, says David Abercrombie. Okay, it's a generic nickname for sailors. Gotcha. Wow. Okay, so what was the other one? It was 23 Bleecker Street, I think? '23 Bleecker Street. I mean, there's no chance that this is still the same structure that it was 114 years ago. Yeah, okay. Yeah, gosh. But this at least gives us something of a lead. Navy Mad Lass would be a great name for a band. That's Mr. T. Yeah. Let's see. Altman, 23 Bleecker Street. Okay, Greenwich Village Society for Preservation of something. Bleecker Street Gardens. Oh, I don't want to save a PDF. So this might be what it looked like. 23 Oh, okay, here we go. 23 Bleecker Street. James Copeland built 21 Bleecker Street, occupied the house at least 1851. Thomas Bennett, who built 23 Bleecker Street around the same time, lived it through 1832. Similar houses were put up in the Bowery. That's the only reference to this building's preservation. 19th century buildings at 23 Bleecker Street remain largely intact to mid-century Italian-era enlargements and makeovers. Haha, not anymore. So this document is from... what is this document from? 2003. Yeah, so I don't know if this is the exact building, but that's roughly what it would have looked like. Make a proper video on the Madeline Altman story, Mr. T. I absolutely agree with you. Achilles said, oh, there's a good chance the other buildings on the other side of the street are definitely more than 100 years old. Oh, that's NoHo Manhattan. You want Bleecker Brooklyn. Oh, multiple Bleeckers, eh? Brooklyn. Sorry, I'm trying to slurp soup as I do these searches. This is the same report. NoHo East Historic District. Okay, yeah, NoHo Manhattan. So this is the wrong Bleecker. Let's see, is this 23 Bleecker Street, Brooklyn? Okay, yeah, so that's that building. Just curious, if we search for 23 Bleecker Street, Brooklyn, and look for historical, sometimes there's a chance you can find like some historical preservation thing that's all real estate. Cluster maps. No, Brooklyn historical maps. This may actually require like going to. Okay, so first of all, I just want to see what that neighborhood of Brooklyn is. 23 Bleecker Street in Brooklyn. is right there. All right. So see if we can line that up with any of these older maps. And I mean, my hope was like there would be like historical photographs, but this might be hard to track down. Right in my neighborhood, I live by Bowery, says Akil. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Ask around the neighborhood, see if anybody knows Madeline Altman. Land use and development might actually have something. Ben Burrito says, I recently got recommended your channel. I've been binging all your videos like crazy. Amazing work, Matt. Thanks for the great videos. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. So glad you're enjoying them. Where did you get recommended? Was it like, did a friend recommend, or did somebody, like some other YouTuber recommend? I don't feel like these maps are Park Slope Historic District. These don't seem to... Yeah. I mean, the one thing that might be useful here is... This is a long shot. Willoughby Market. Does this show... Oh yeah. Can I ask for showing in order from Willoughby Street to Navy Yard? Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna like. Here's Willoughby Street. So there was a market probably somewhere along this street that her father owned a produce place at, but I don't know if that's gonna really get us anything. Mr. T-Bone says, "Are you gonna get Cyberpunk 2077?" You know, a lot of people have asked. And honestly, I don't know. Like, nothing about it excites me. And honestly, its handling of gender seems to be a little bit of a turnoff. Good night, close to you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely night over in Denmark. Hopefully, when we're able to do this, I can come visit Denmark again because I miss it very much. I love Copenhagen. And I would love to come back and visit. But have a good Denmarkian evening. I was watching Be Kind Rewind's Q&A and she recommended you. Oh, yeah, she's great. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, welcome. We are hot on the trail of a mystery woman from 1906 who got herself tattooed and tried to join the Navy. We're trying to find out more about the Altman family of Brooklyn. Brooklyn Altman family. Produce. No, these are all contemporary. Oh, of course, the Altman brothers are celebrities. Yeah. There may be some that Madeline Altman Nichols. J. Paul Reed turned that up from the Vassar publication. Vassar Quarterly. Task School freshman, now connected, 1911. Born 1889. Yeah, that's the one that we want. Family History Photo Store. Buffalo Courier. 23. Oh, Mrs. Madeline Altman Nichols. So she does seem to have gotten married. Let's see. Freshman class. Wanda Shelton Nichols' oldest daughter, Helen. Capital son, Norman, one of the young commissioners sailed in the Honolulu race. All right, we'll take a look at this in a second. But what was this? Altman. Madeline Altman. We have a photo, potentially. Madeline Altman Nichols. 1889. That lines up. That birth date lines up. Parents Henry Altman and Sadie Altman. Siblings Rainer Altman and Henry Altman. Spouse Clarence Everett Nichols. This is... Okay, so here's the thing. I think that's her. Not a clear shot of her arm or breast here, but... A photo. I know. Pardon me a moment. We're just going to gaze upon her while I slurp my soup. So, here's... Madeline Altman. She's gentle and not fearful. 11 Melton Manor in Buffalo, New York. We have an address. Okay. 11 Melton Manor, Buffalo, New York. 11 Melton Manor, Buffalo, New York. Melton Manor. Interesting. This doesn't seem like it exists anymore. Huh. Melton Manor? Was this a... Oh, here we go. Whoa, wait, what is this? This is not Buffalo. Where are we? Oh, we're in South Africa. What? Buffalo. Huh. Melton Manor does not seem to exist anymore. Dirty soup slurper. Look, we're hot on the heels of a historical mystery. There's no time to eat your noodles like a dainty lady. We're all Madeline Altmans today. Donnie says, I love this so much. I stand this one already. Tell me she scammed someone and got away with some bank robbery, something. For historical info in Brooklyn, try looking at the Sanborn fire insurance maps. Oh, Ursus, thank you. Okay. Sanborn fire insurance. Let's take a look at that. So I'm unfamiliar with this. Tell me more about what this is. Searchable database of fire insurance maps published Sanborn Map Company, Housing Collection, Geography Map Division, Basement Library's 1981 publication, Fire Insurance Map in the Library of Congress. Online check contains links to existing digital images. Okay, so is this just like maps of everything everywhere for like a long time? Might need a suitably vintage map, Cecile. Yeah. We want to talk about casting a theoretical Golden Rule reboot to investing in the life of a girl who wanted to join the Navy. I love these streams, says Mr. T. I know. This is often how it goes. It's like I start searching one thing and then I find something else and I'm like, this is interesting. What is this? Okay, so let's look at New York. Huh. I mean, let's just see if we have anything about the Willoughby Market. So I don't know enough about this... Willoughby, Ohio. I don't know enough about this archive to really use it well right now. So rather than staring at this for a long time and puzzling it out, I may come back to this later. They exist for lots of cities. Various cities exist. All the buildings with info and building materials, etc. Okay, well, let's see. Let's search for New York. And we want Brooklyn. Brooklyn. Well, we don't. I don't see Brooklyn in here, but maybe under... Oh, wait. Brooklyn. There it is. All right, so then we've got 1800s. Oh, here we go. 1904 to 1908. Skeleton maps. This is where all the skeletons are. Oh, here we go. This could be useful. Lots to dig through here. I feel like this is going to take like just a lot of going page by page by page. So I'm not going to bore you all to tears by trying to do that. Yeah. I don't see a Willoughby here. Armory. Oh, wait. Wisner Piano Factory. So I don't see anything immediately promising, but this could be useful if I spend a little bit more time just like searching boringly. 1905, New York's Department of Street Cleaning. Yeah, this might turn something up. But I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on this one because it might take a long time of just like combing through stuff to find it. And what was this? Oh, wait. We didn't look at this one yet. Altman. For Statler Day, Mrs. Douglas Moore, Mrs. Madeline Altman Nichols. There will be a prize for each table for Statler Day, whatever Statler Day is. But let's jump over to this historical photo here. Yeah, she's gentle and not fearful. Oh, wait, Jillian, wait, hold on. What has a photo of the tattoo shop? Wait, where? Ursa says, try the New York Public Library website for Brooklyn, or for Buffalo or NYU. 15-year-old wannabe sailor grew up to be a woman who believed in girls getting their hands dirty. Yeah, I think that seems like it's her. Sorry to slurp so noisily at you all. I'm getting soup all over my desk. What a mess. Wait, Jillian, has a photo of the tattoo shop. Did it say the name of the two tat shop? Should be done by Peter Farley of Chatham Square. Okay, these are these people where they lived. Did we have an address for the shop though? Oh, it came up when I Googled her name. Wait, what? What? Smash Roomvid says, what are you eating? Gentle and not fearful, the Madeline Altman story. James made me a nice little soup here. Look at this. Isn't this nice? He takes good care of me. Wait, Jillian, where did you find that? Statler Day, the national holiday for hecklers? Is that true? Oh, no, I see what you're saying. Come on. Madeline Altman tattoo shop. Oh, you're right. Here it is. Buzzworthy tattoo. Wait, somebody wrote about this. There's a reason Charlie Wagner is a tattoo artist comes from the top of New York Bowery tattoo history brought up for 50 years from his humble start practicing craft Lower East Side slum, succeeding the throne of famed Samuel F. O'Reilly, Chatham Square, and even his declining years in depression-worthy Bowery preserved the tattoo trade, loyal to New York City clients. Charlie Wagner was a New York City native, blah, blah, blah. Is this one of the guys who was arrested? Peter Farley, Sam Riley, William F. Davis. Hold on. Altman. Only several months later, 3 Chatham Square tattooers, so different guys, were tattooing a 15-year-old waif of the Bowery, Madeline Altman. I need more information about it. Okay, so apparently, like, tattooing children was, like, a common thing here, because, or at least, like, it happened more than once, because it seems like this was a frequent occurrence. Oh, I really... Girl wants to be sailor. This is the article that we found. Waif of the Bowery. It mentions Prof. Riley in there somewhere. Oh. Celebrated Prof. Samuel F. O'Reilly, recipient of the very first electric tattoo machine patent. Okay, and there's a whole thing about her. Prof. College Prof. Wagner. Okay, hold on. I want to look up Waif of the Bowery. Like, they refer to her with this title. But it doesn't look like this was a thing for her. I was wondering if, like, Waif of the Bowery, like, if she became notorious under this name or something. Altman. Nah, no, I'm not seeing her. Smash says, we talk about Golden Girls, a TV show. We have gotten sidetracked from that. We did earlier, but we found this article. While we were looking for Golden Girls stuff, we found this article about this fascinating young woman who tried to join the Navy in 1906. And we're trying to track down clues about her identity and what eventual fate befell her. Now there was... Oh, it did mention her spouse in one of those articles. Hold on a second. Let me get some more noodles here. Try to reduce the amount of soup spillage. So where was that? Okay. Where was the spouse mention? Madeline Altman Nichols. 1889. So I wonder... Someone's spouse. Clarence Everett Nichols died in 64. What do we know about this Joker? 64, different guy, son of Ruffalo, and something again. Top maker, Clarence Pete Nichols. Do any of these gravestones say 64? No, 75, no, it's a different Nichols. Cleela Nichols, Pearl Nichols, Gladys Nichols. Dorothy. Yeah, this is turning up different Nicholses. 1964. Nothing there. That's probably not her. Irma Nichols. Yeah, no, that's not turning anything up either. Sloppy Turtle says, I admire your persistence. Well, that's what we do. Waif of the Bowery. We already have the title of her autobiography. Oh, Gentle and Not Fearful. The Waif of the Bowery. That's so good. That's so good, Seal. Boy, I wish there was more about her. So we know there's a Vassar connection. Oh, this is interesting. 1928 exhibition of paintings at Vassar. Is there something Altman that comes up here, or something Nichols that comes up here? Oh, Margaret Nichols Allport. No, so that could be a family member. Margaret Nichols Allport Revocable Trust. That's probably could be the same family, but it seems like a long shot. Okay, so let's back this up and see if we can find anything else from the Vassar connection. Madeline Alt. Actually, Altman. We'll start with Madeline Altman Nichols, Vassar. We may have to search some different combinations of names. This is not helpful. Woman farm specialist, sure. Altman. Mrs. Madeline Altman Nichols, women farm specialist. She works on a woman's farm. I'm going to use her food commission is daughter of Mrs. Henry Altman. Mrs. Clarence Nichols. Okay, so she seems to have gotten married to this guy, Clarence Nichols. Now she's going by Mrs. Clarence Nichols. So this is possibly why it's so hard to find anything about her, is because now she's no longer Madeline Altman. She's Mrs. Clarence Nichols. The State Public Employment Bureau. Mrs. Nichols is helping women, enrolling women helpers, farmers in 4 counties. Women doing farm work. Enthusiastic. What are you going to do with your helpers? Board them into your farmers or place them in camps. Okay, so let's see if we can find... How many units organized? Mrs. Clarence Nichols. This might take a little bit more... If we search for Buffalo, maybe. Another searching. This is another very common name, unfortunately. 1912 to 1984. Probably not the same guy. If they were married in... what year was this? 1918. Yeah, no, he would not have been a married 6-year-old. Married names are a whole thing back. Yeah. Let's even search for Mrs. Clarence Nichols and see if that turns anything else up. Okay, so he died in 66. Oh, and son Billy. They had a son. Interesting. And this is another person who's searching for him. This is interesting. This is a clipping from somebody else searching this archive for the same name. I might want to reach out to that person and be like, hey, what'd you find? Belvedere, Illinois. Why are they doing in Illinois? Clarence Edward. Oh, here's a picture of the husband. I guess, possibly, potentially, born in 1905. I'm skeptical that this might actually be him. He seems a bit young. Ancestry says they were married in 1911. Yeah, so this would not be that. She comes up on Ancestry. It says she was born in Erie, New York. This might not be the same woman. Yeah, so it's very awkward that there are two Madeline Altmans, potentially. It might be the same woman, but they seem like they have the same birth year. So, I mean, what a coincidence that there are two Madeline Altmans in New York born the same year. Not impossible, of course. Just, I'd really like it if that was the same person. Husband Clarence Edward Nichols. Wife. Oh, wait. No, this is not the same person. Wife Nora Ellen Newberry. Okay, not the same guy. Different Clarence Nichols. Handsome. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. The New York and Buffalo connections make sense, but less likely she's the one from Brooklyn. I agree. Like the year is encouraging that they might be the same person. But I don't know how this person from, like, Erie, I mean, maybe, but, like, the fact that their father's a produce merchant in Brooklyn makes me think, like, they probably were not the most mobile family. Anyway. Well, we've gathered up quite a few clues here. And I see that the delightful Arseniki has gone live over on Twitch. So I might take a break from the research here and go spend some time just poking around and saying hello to Arseniki, our good friend over there, because this was quite a fascinating treasure hunt. I'm not gonna just abandon this. I'm gonna continue poking around with this, see if we can find out anything more. Thank you all for your clues that helped us zero in on some of these details, because this is amazing. This whole woman's story. Yeah, just incredible. So what I'm going to do, yeah, and Celeste says definitely class differences between the two. So here's what I'm going to do is let's jump on over to Twitch and say hello to Arson. I myself, if you haven't heard, I've mentioned this a couple of times, so stop me if you've heard this one, have been streaming on Twitch. So for more good times and great tastes, join me over on twitch.tv/MattBaum. Like it says, hold on, let's go big screen here. There you go, twitch.tv/MattBaum. I'm streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific. We're playing games. We are hanging out. What did we play recently? I've been doing a lot of Monster Hunter with James. I've also been playing some Assassin's Creed, and we did some nice Furry Friday streams yesterday, and they were really delightful and restful and peaceful and good. And we'll spend some time with Arson and see what she's playing. So she's at twitch.tv/ArsonNikki. So hop on over there. I'm going to put a link in the chat. Twitch.tv/ArsonNikki. And there she is. Let me try that one more time to make it actually a link, because YouTube is fussy. Let's see. Yeah, that works. Okay. So, whoa, one more follow. Oh, what a way to wrap up the stream. Agent of Antinius. Thank you for the follow. We're going to do a spin to celebrate. Here we go. Whee! And J Hightower Mills is following. We'll spin the other way. Woo! Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. So nice to have so many new friends following over there. Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh no, Fuchsia, help. Oh God, Jesus. There we go. Yeah, thank you for the follow. And don't forget to join me for those. Hit the notification bell here on YouTube. Hit the notification bell on Twitch so you get a little alert when I go live and we can spend some time together just being cool internet buddies. All right, so I'll see you in a little bit. I'll be hanging out on Arson's stream so we can chat a little bit more in the chat over there. And until next time, everybody, have a lovely one. Just have a lovely one. All right, see y'all. Goodbye. Bed Burritos. I'm spinning invisibly behind the goodbye. Thank you, Bed Burritos. Bye.